Hey guys, Ethan Studios here, and today I'm going to be building 3 different scenes from the new Ninjago season, Dragons Rising in LEGO. These mocks will vary from bad, to subpar, to serviceable. So without further ado, let's begin! Starting things off, I figured I'd center the first build around our 2 new lead characters, Eren and Sora. I figured I'd base the first scene we saw both of them fight in the junkyard. So, for Eren, I decided to take the Indiana Jones satchel and Lloyd's green core hood to make him accurate to the scene, and I grabbed a bunch of base plates and I just started building. Of course, the 1 hour time limit did make things difficult here because I wanted this mock to be quite sizable, I wanted to fit in a lot of things, but I also wanted a nice level of detail. So I tried to make it the best size I could, but as you can see, I was quite struggling here to try and piece things together quickly. Now, of course, you can't have a junkyard without having a proper dumpster. I took about 10 to 15 minutes aside to build this thing, just threw it together real quick. It's got a tiny interior and a moving door, got some trash inside, of course, and we'll go ahead and place this thing on the actual build over by the gates. By this point, I was starting to run very low on time. I took a little too long planning things out and trying to figure out the scale I wanted to go with here. So I literally threw this robot together in about 5-ish minutes, and my god, does it look awful. No. And just like that, time was up. I had to put down my pieces. So this is it for the Eren and Sora battle against the junkyard robots. And yeah, this thing turned out way worse than I expected it to. So we're gonna do a glorious send-off for the mock by completely smashing it. On to the next. Now that my building space has been cleansed from whatever that last mock was, I decided I was going to scale things down a bit here and do a much more simple build. So the next iconic scene we're going with from Dragons Rising is Lord Ross's first scene encountering Eren and Sora on the bridge. So what I started with is a stud snot on top technique, also known as snot, for the bridge here. I wanted to start out with the road, kind of captured the idea of the gray and yellow stripes, so this was going to be the easiest way to do that. Next, I went ahead and built those tan walls you see on top of the bridge, grabbed some tiles to put them on top, smooth them off, and of course, they aren't going to actually be connected by studs to the bridge, so they're just going to sit on top, and just like that, I have made bridge. Next, I threw on some shrubbery. Then I got to the most exciting part, placing the minifigures. I wanted to include Sora's mech bike here, but of course it was too big to fit, so I took it off, and I still surprisingly had a decent amount of time left over. So with the remaining time left over, I thought to myself, how can I not screw up such a simplistic build? So I just quickly decided to mod Sora to make her more accurate to the show. So the plan was to cut the half mask off of the new armor piece, just like I did here with the Lloyd minifig. Well, this made a mess. With my 60-minute time limit officially up, this is what I have left. Okay, this isn't really that great, but I think we can agree it's better than that. And with that out of the way, my studio is a complete mess. So, before we start the next mock, let's clean it up. Alright, so for the final challenge today, I've decided to make things infinitely more challenging and embarrassing for myself by only using the pieces I used to create the first 2 mocks for my last mock. I very quickly decided that I was going to go with Imperium City. So to start things off, I decided I should probably choose exactly which part of the city I'd be building. So I decided to go with one of my favorite scenes, which is Eren distracting the Imperium citizens while Ryu hides in the trash bin. So, of course, I took apart the road plates to begin building the base, which I would be using all of these plates over on the side here to start that. And something even more interesting is I'm not going to be showing you any of the build until it's actually done. So I'm going to switch off the camera for the next hour, and I'm going to show you the build when it's done. But first, let's take a look at the minifigures. So, to make the Imperium Citizens, I used everyone's favorite minifigure, the Outrider. So I made this snazzy blonde on the right here, and then I made 2 members from the gang. Alright, so after 60 minutes of building and trying to figure out the best configuration, I have what I believe to be by far the best mock in this video.
Napoleon was